Hey guys, hope you're having a good morning. So we're going to talk today about the Summer Wells case. I'm going to analyze something in it, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the Kiely Rodni case. So if you would, just watch the video all the way through. Helps me out a lot. All right, so I'm going to analyze what the district attorney said. A lot of people, new and old to the case, may apparently they have forgotten about this, or they've just not analyzed what the district attorney said. It went in one ear and out the other. So I'm going to analyze what the district attorney said, and it might give us a good gauge, if you will, on where the investigation may be going. Okay. So let's listen to the district attorney here and see what he's got to say again.
Charges. This is a very complicated issue.
All right. Did y'all hear that? Right off the bat, he says it's like a complicated issue. So, and I'm thinking it's complicated just because the boys are involved, okay? That's just me personally. I think it's because the boys are involved. And I just think they got to get that out of the way first before, any charges or prosecution happens in the Summer Wells case.
That has been made more complicated by the players in this drama.
Nope. And he said it's been amplified by the players in this drama. So who are the players that the district attorney is talking about? Are those going to be the people charged in the Summer Wells case? The players? Who are the players? I'm like, and do they have anything to worry about? Because right off the bat, we're thinking Candace, Grandis, and Dawn. But when he says players, he's not being specific. Good God, could Hunter be involved in it too? Jody, Sue, and Andy? Now, let me take that back. It's been made more complicated by the players in the case. Well, I don't know. I was fixing to say, well, maybe Hunter's not involved, but, I don't know. It sounds like there might be a lot of people getting charged in this. I just wish he'd be a little bit more specific, but he can't, I guess. Let me replay that. That was very interesting.
This is a very complicated issue that has been made more complicated by the players in this drama.
No one has been...
It's been made more complicated by the players in this drama.
No. Huh. God, I'd like to know who their players are in this drama. I know what our players are in this drama on YouTube, but that's not YouTube. That's like real life right there. I wonder who the players are in this criminal case. I'm gonna say it's a criminal case because he does mention the grand jury.
No one has been arrested or charged in relation to the little girl's disappearance, but that doesn't mean it couldn't happen at some point.
It doesn't mean. See, there again. Let me replay that for you if you didn't hear it. She's talking about charges. No charges have been filed yet, but it doesn't mean there won't be none in the future. That's what we're waiting on, guys.
Relation to the little girl's disappearance, but that doesn't mean it couldn't happen at some point.
Into
the little girl's
the players in this drama.
No one has been arrested or charged in relation to the little girl's disappearance, but that doesn't mean it couldn't happen at some point.
We make ourselves available to both the Sheriff's Office and the TBI to advise them as to the consequences of the next step that they're proposing to take and how we can do it to where if there is eventually a prosecution, it'll be what they gather will be something that would be that we could introduce in a court. Make sure we cover all those bases.
If an arrest.
See, I told you guys. I told you. I said, I guarantee you that, Ronnie and Pruitt, Evans, all the investigators, TBI, they're coming to the DA, Dan Armstrong, to say, hey, here's what we got. Because, see, Dan Armstrong, the district attorney, he's the one going to be prosecuting this. So he wants to make sure that when, he's standing here, Dawn and Candace and whoever are standing here, he wants to make sure that he wins and they loses. So they're building the case.
Arrest ever does take place, that's when Armstrong will look at what charges can be filed.
If it ever got to the point where we were ready to consider charges, then of course they would talk to me about what charges and who to charge. And a case like this would generally go to a grand jury if it ever.
Did y'all hear that? A case like this would generally go to the grand jury. So let me replay that for you. Hopefully you guys can hear this. I got it turned up all the way.
We were ready to consider charges, and of course they would talk to me about what charges and who to charge. And a case like this would generally go to a grand jury if it ever got to that point.
Armstrong declined to comment about Don Wells' current legal troubles. Even though he stays in touch with law enforcement about where they're at in this investigation, he's almost at a standstill in his particular role.
All right, so there you go. We know more than likely at some point the grand jury is going to be involved. Yeah, it's a criminal investigation, guys. So for you all new to the case, or you're not up to par, it's a criminal case. Somebody's going to jail. Someone's in trouble. Their ass is going to get handed to them. So I wanted to analyze that for you guys and let you hear it for yourself. This actually came out April 6, 2022, so it's been out there for a while. I'm just surprised nobody's been talking about it on YouTube. And this also ties in with that little court case that they had with the boys, I'm thinking, October of last year. So we're rolling up on October of this year. And normally CPS gives, from what I understand, from what people's been telling me, CPS normally gives parents 12 months, 12 to, I think 12 to 16 months or something like that to get their act together. But because this is a criminal case and, we're possibly talking about, the death of Summer, I'm thinking they may just give them 12 months and wrap up the case with the boys and then go ahead with the prosecution of the players, as the district attorney says, in the Summer Wells case. Oh, God, I'd love to know who the players are. Wouldn't you guys? Man, listening to this right now, if you guys are like the players in the Summer Wells investigation and you're watching this right now, I'd be sweating bullets. You know what's coming, don't you? We've got Dawn, Candace, Grandis. Could possibly have Jody, Sue, and Andy. Think about that, guys. We may be shocked whenever indictments come out. We might be really shocked. So anyway, let me know what you think about that. And now we're going to move on to the Kiely Rodni case. Adventures with a Purpose just put out a video to their members. So if you are a member with Adventures with a Purpose, they've got a new video out, and they said that it'll answer some questions that everybody has. Some questions. But again, right now, it's only to members only. That video is available to members only. I think they said the public version of that video will be available Friday. So if you're not a member with Adventures with a Purpose, they're going to be releasing that video out to members only, I guess, as a perk first, and then for the non-members, we'll get to see that Friday, I guess. So, and speaking of that, if you want to be a member, you can look for that little join button on my channel, and you can become a member. So I wanted to give y'all some heads up on that. So there's some useful information for you too. So I don't know if you've heard that or not. So I just recently found that out this morning. So, and hopefully the members that do watch that video will share that information with us, and we'll so hopefully that'll help. There's been some questions. I got a question yesterday from a sub, and they wanted to know if the sheriff was also like the coroner. Now let me get this out of the way, guys. The coroner and the medical examiner, okay, they're two different things, okay? Okay, in California, now the person that actually cuts the body open and examines the organs, the tissues, and stuff like that, okay? The sheriff ain't going to do that, okay? So let's get that out of the way right now. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you that, the sheriff is not going to do that. In order to do that, which that's the medical examiner, No, actually, that's the coroner. Okay, the medical examiner probably just does the initial findings and stuff on it. But in my research, I found out that to be a California coroner, you have to be a licensed physician. And not only top of that, not only do you have to be a licensed physician, you have to be a licensed surgeon. And on top of that, okay, there's more to this. You to cut that body open, you have to have some you have to have quite a bit of credentials here. So you have to be a physician, you have to be a surgeon, and on top of that, your specialty has to be in pathology to cut that body open and send that information and make the determinations and all that stuff. So no, the person cutting the body open is not going to be Andy Griffith. It's not going to be the sheriff. Not going to be Barney, because you three things involved here. You have to be a physician, a surgeon, and you have to be a specialist in pathology, which makes sense. Makes sense because you're looking at tissue samples, you're looking at stuff under a microscope, you're looking at fluids. The sheriff may be good at looking at a radar gun or paperwork and guns and bullets, but I don't think the sheriff's going to be too good at looking at tissue samples, fluid samples under a microscope. I doubt the sheriff even knows how to use a microscope. But anyway, there's your answer on that, okay? And then let's see what else in the Kiely Rodni. Some other people had some issues. I was listening to some people on YouTube, and they were talking about, an issue with her car, something about it being registered weird or something like that, and the tag coming back weird or something. And it didn't really occur to me until last night. The car that they got, that CRV, could have possibly had a what they call a rebuilt title. So if any of you guys know anything about cars, you know what a rebuilt title is. And if you don't know anything about cars, a rebuilt title is basically where a car's been in a bad accident, and they basically declared it totaled. It was a total loss in the insurance claim. So if you had a fender bender and your car's worth, $10,000, and it's going to cost, $8,000 to fix it, they're going to consider that car a total loss, and that's going to be on the title. And in order, so, let's say the person collects off that insurance company, they just don't want the car anymore. So that car is sitting down there at the towing company. And I've seen this from where my daughter actually had a car accident. We went to go get stuff out of her car. There's these fellers that will go down there on these totaled cars that are sitting at the tow shop, and they'll buy those cars for like $1,000, $1,500. And the only thing they may have to put on it is like a bumper, new airbag system, paint it, and they're done. They get these cars like dirt cheap. But here's the thing. The title's messed up because it's been deemed totaled, you know what I mean? So they've got to get with the Department of Motor Vehicles and get a clean title, and it'll still say rebuilt. It'll be a rebuilt title, but it'll have that title will have a clean bill of health. That way they can resell it and reuse that title. They can sell that car. So that may be, I hope I explained that well for you guys. That may be what's going on with the issue when people go look up, Kiely's tag and the VIN number and all that stuff. It may have been at some point involved in a bad accident, wreck or something, and it may have a rebuilt title to that car. So I hope that clears everything up for you. And I got to looking. I'm at the medical examiners thing here in California. So and it's really cool. They've got some frequently asked questions here. So there was one on here. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Placer County Coroner's Office. Here we go, frequently asked questions. And these are really cool, guys. These are really cool. So, and again, if you find this information useful, share the video. Talk about it. Oh, and if anybody on YouTube wants to use my video and clip it or whatever, you can. You've got my permission. Because it just helps me. Will I be notified when my loved one is releasable to a funeral home? The Placer County Sheriff's Office Coroner's Unit will not reach out to you when the examination of your loved one has been completed. Our office suggests reaching out to a funeral home mortuary of your choice within 72 hours of the death to begin arranging the final disposition. Then contacting our front desk to provide the name of the funeral home. At this point, your loved one's examination should be completed, and we can provide any information or preliminary results we have available. So I would pretty much say now it's been long enough to where Kiely's family does have some preliminary results in her autopsy. And if they choose to release that to us, the public, they can. If they choose not to, that's a privacy issue with them, and they can, that's up to them. That's up to the family. Let's see what other questions are on here. That one probably won't be, because it says, can I request an autopsy if the Placer County Office Coroner's Unit has determined they will not be doing an autopsy? So we know they're going to be doing an autopsy on Kiely. So that's, oh, here's one. When will I be notified when my loved one's coroner report and cause and manner of death is finalized? Let's check it out, guys. The Placer County Sheriff's Office Coroner's Unit does not typically reach out to the next of kin when a report of death is finalized, unless specifically requested. More than likely, in Kiely's case, the family already requested that with the sheriff's office. So, once the report is final, because we're still waiting probably on the toxicology and all that stuff. So it'll be a while. The final report will be. If you would like to receive a copy of the report, which includes the cause and manner of death, please reach out to Placer County Sheriff's Office Records Unit to request the report when it is finalized. The Records Unit will notify you when it is available and being mailed to you. So there's that, guys. What funeral home should I choose? Let's see. Can the Placer County Sheriff's Office Coroner's Unit embalm, cremate, or bury my loved one? I would say no. Yep, nope. Where can I get a death certificate? Placer County Health Department, Human Services. That's interesting. Here's one. Can a friend or another family member handle cremation, burial arrangements? Yes. So anyway, that's just talking about, if they had to, talk about burying or cremating Kiely. Let's see. Oh, here's an interesting question. Am I allowed to tour the Placer County Sheriff's Office Coroner's Unit or witness an autopsy? Wow. And, of course, the answer is no. It says, to respect the privacy of the deceased in our care, we do not allow the public to tour our facility or witness autopsies. Am I allowed to view the body at the coroner's unit? Let's see what this says. Viewing your loved one is not permitted at the coroner's unit. Please contact your funeral director to arrange a viewing. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. How long does it take to get a Placer County coroner report? Let's see. Coroner reports are finalized within 30 to 60 days after the date of the death. Huh? Well, that makes sense. That makes sense because the toxicology report can normally take, they say normally 4 to 6 weeks. So, there's, 4 weeks in a month. So 30 to 60 days. 60 days would be like 8 weeks. So, yeah, that'd be about right. Coroner's reports are finalized within 30 to 60 days after the date of death. These reports may include a narrative from the police originally on scene at the time the death was reported. So that'll mean, when they pulled the water out of when they pulled the water out of the car, when they pull the car out of the water, it'll probably have some narratives in there about that. So that's kind of interesting. A property receipt from an itemized list of any property taken into the sheriff's office, a toxicology report, and the forensic pathologist report. Copies can be requested through the Placer County Sheriff's Office Records Unit. Interesting. All right. So anyway, guys, I hope that answers some of your questions in the Kiely Rodni case. And again, if this video was useful and helpful in the Summer Wells case for you, in the Kiely Rodni case, let me know. Definitely some comments. Let me know what you think about this information I discovered here. So, and be on the lookout for the Adventures with a Purpose video. If you remember, go over and check out that video they dropped. See if you can get some answers that they're putting out. Maybe it'll clear some things up. So thanks for hanging with me, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Bam!